So, good afternoon everyone and good afternoon me. So, our question is, what are the different types of test scores? Actually, pag-search na mo sa different types of test scores kay dagan siya ni gawas. But here are some common test scores, mostly common used nga kuan kanang test score. So first is the raw scores, the simplest form of a test score representing the number of correct responses. So ang example ani kay a student answers 40 out of 50 questions correctly. So 40 is the raw score. Ang example ani kanang nag-exam, ang number of correct siyang test paper is 40. So kanang 40 mao na ang raw score. Next is the scaled scores. Raw scores converted to a common scale to account for differences in test difficulty. So, ang example ani kay ang National Achievement Test ug ang Civil Service Exam. So, ang pagkuan ning scaled score kay naani siya kanang table depende sa kanang gitaken nimo sa test. Ang pagkuha aning scaled score, example, ang imuhang raw score kay 40 out of 50, then ang equivalent scaled score niya sa table kay nadre sa 600 to 800 nga scaled score. So ang 40 i-convert siya into scaled score, mahimo na siyang mga around 600 to 800 depende sa gihatag nga table sa scaled score. Next is the percentile ranks, indicates how a test taker's score compares to others in a reference group. So ang example ani kay pareha nang sa kuana mo sa IS 104 nga ang amuang scores gi-convert ni Sir Harley into percentile ranks para ma-rank ni kinsa ang pinaka top students. Mao siya example. And next is standard score, represent how far a test taker's score is from the average in standard deviation units. So, nag-measure siya how far a raw score of the student from the mean. Ang example ani ang most common used ani kay Z-score, katong i-identify asa siya mas better if sa math ba siya or sa kanang science. Then ang gigamit nga kanang formula is sa Z-score. So, ang formula sa Z-score ato kay Z is equals to kanang X, which is ang raw score, then ang mean, ayon, divided ba into the standard deviation. So, ang example, ang raw score niya 85 minus ang mean 75 kay 10. Then, i-divide siya sa standard deviation which is 5. So, ang iyang Z-score or ang standard score niya is 2.
So let's move on to grade equivalent score. Grade equivalent score expresses a student's performance in terms of the typical performance of students at a certain grade level. So for example, ang grade level sa student is grade 5. Then, ni-take siya standardized test in reading. So, ang iyang grade equivalent score is 7.3. So, ang grade equivalent score is nagdepende sa performance sa students and sa iyang grade level. Next one is age equivalent scores, similar to grade equivalence but expressed in years and months. Ang age equivalent scores is magdepende gyapon sa performance sa student but nag-base na sa iyang age. Like, for example, 8 years old, then, na siya gitake nga exam sa mathematics and iyang age equivalent scores is 10 or naara sa 9. And then, ang performance sa students nga 8 years old is good ra nga advance kay iyang learning nga bisag 8 years old. Next, criterion reference scores measure how well a test taker meets specific standard or learning objectives. Ang criterion reference scores is to measure the ability of the student during sa mga examination. Nga, syempre, for the word of criterion is kanang naay mga exam nga naay mga criteria. For example, sa LET examination. Next is norm reference score. compare a test taker's performance to a norm group. Kani is magdepende sa performance ng student nga i-compare sa lain nga student or lain nga group. Like example nga ang score sa lain student is i-compare siya sa lain nga group nga kung pila pod ang ilahang nakuha sa base sa ilang scores during sa ilang performance task.
So, composite score, combine multiple test score with a single measure. So, kani siya is himuon og generalize ang score sa tanan as a whole. So, example, pila ang average sa 50 student score. So, the next is percentage score. So, a score expressed as a percentage of the total possible points. So, kani siya is himuon ang score in forms of percentage. So, example, iyang grado is 98%. So, next is TAN9 score. A score ranging from 1 to 9, whereas 5 is the average. It group test score into a broad category. So, about ranging the score, example in terms of academic performance, ang 1 to 4 is a below average. Ang 5 is average. So, ang 6 to 9 is a above average. So, the last one is pass-fail score. A simple classification indicating whether a student that required standard. So, example lang is high school standard passing grade is 75%. So, ang 75% above na kay pass na siya. Ang 75 below is fail na siya.
Next type is checklist evaluation. Checklist evaluation is used to assess specific criteria or steps have been met. It is useful for evaluating processes, step-by-step tasks, or procedural knowledge. So, example niya is a grade 8 student is conducting an experiment on density. The teacher uses a checklist to evaluate if the student follows the correct procedure. So, example, ang nakabutang sa checklist ni teacher, ang first nga nakabutang dito kay prepared all required materials. So, if ang students kay prepare sila sa mga gipang required nga materials, so, i-mark ni teacher dito, check. Nga, ang sunod na sa niya nakabutang dito is recorded the volume of the liquid correctly. If makita ni teacher nga wala na tarong og record sa mga students ang volume sa liquid, so dira i-mark ni teacher og X kay not complete man. So ang next is performance rating. So performance rating assesses the quality of a student's work based on a rubrics or scoring guide. It is useful for evaluating subjective tasks such as essay, presentation, problem-solving strategies. So, example niya is a grade 9 student is asked to explain the Pythagorean theorem in front of the class. The teacher uses a performance rating rubrics to assess the explanation. So, si teacher na siya criteria. So, first nga nakabutang sa iyang criteria is clarity of explanation. So, si teacher, i-rate na niya ang student from 1 to 4. Example lang, 1 to 4. So, ang 1 is poor, 2 is fair, 3 is good, and 4 is excellent. Next, ano niya kay confident and delivery. So, kung si student, confident ba siya nga ni-deliver sa iyang sa iyang gipang explain inana. So, muna siya i-rate gyapon niya from 1 to 4. Muna siya performance rating. Next is accuracy score. So, accuracy score measures the percentage of correct responses in a test. It is used for objective tests such as multiple choice, true or false, and computational problems. Example niya is a grade 7 student takes a 15-item quiz on fractions. After checking the test, the teacher finds that the student answered 12 questions correctly. So, sa kanisiya, to get the accuracy score, simply divide the total question to the correct answer and multiply by 100. So, sa given nga example, ang total nga question is 15 items. So, 15 divided by 12, which is the correct na answer ni student. So, 15 divided by 12 times 100. So, inanaw siya pagkuha sa accuracy score.
Now, step-by-step evaluation is a detailed process of determining the interpretation of test scores. So the common process of this would be to first determine the method of scoring, which most of the time it would be the raw scores. The next is you will choose a benchmark or a standard to compare the raw scores, which will then you will use to make a decision about either will you provide further instruction for the students or maybe just give them some pointers on what they need to improve. Now next would be the graph interpretation score. Now this type of test score involves the organizing of raw scores into a graph, which the facilitators can use to see if there are any patterns present inside the graph that would tell the facilitators if the students are like having a weakness on this particular question, this particular part of the instruction, and that is where the facilitators can determine what decision they should make. If same thing, if they will provide more instructions or just provide pointers for the students. Now next would be structured response rating. Now this test score is something like a rubric based scoring, however it uses questions or statements to see if the students have met the requirements of these statements, and that will determine their score.
So moving on to our assessment table, our first course topic is sequence and polynomials, and the desired learning outcomes of this course topic is demonstrate understanding of key concept of sequence, polynomials, and polynomial equation. And the assessment method used, written exams and problem solving tasks. And method of scoring, rubric based scoring, and the types of score of this course topic is raw and criterion reference score. The second course topic is arithmetic and geometric sequence, and the desired learning outcomes of this course topic illustrates an arithmetic sequence and geometric sequence, and the assessment method used is quiz and worksheet exercise. Method of scoring is multiple choice scoring, and the type of score checklist evaluation. Fourth course topic is about polynomial divisions and theorems, and the desired learning outcome of this course topic is to perform divisions and polynomials and proves polynomials theorems. And the assessment method used is written tests and problem solving tasks. And the method of scoring is stepwise grading and holistic scoring. And types of score is accuracy score, step-by-step evaluation. Last course topic is all about polynomial functions. And the desired learning outcomes of this course topic is to illustrate polynomial functions and to solve problems involving polynomial functions. And the assessment method used is graphing exercise and problem solving test. And the method of scoring is analytical rubric and accuracy based scoring. And the type of score is graph interpretation score and structured response rating. So that's all for our assessment table. Thank you.